going on, people? Welcome to United View. Out in the car, out and about. It's not actually a road trip, so don't get excited. Although the road trips obviously will be happening once we're back on games and out and about. But like I said, on this channel, you're going to get me out and about. There's going to be different things going on. It's not just going to be sitting in front of the thing, just this is happening, this is happening. If I'm out, I'm out, and you guys will see that I'm out and we move. You know what I'm saying? But latest transfer news, man. You know, it's been a really odd day. It's been a really odd day. I'll tell you why it's been an odd day, because it's almost like United are kind of taking care of the housekeeping before trying to maybe chase the bigger deals. And I don't mean that as a disrespect, but so in today's show we're going to talk about Juan Mata signing a contract extension. Tom Heaton has now officially signed, however interesting you think that is. And I did see something, I don't know how much is in this. I saw a couple of outlets reporting that Lee Grant's going to get a new deal as well. Lee Grant's going to get a new deal, and we just signed Tom Heaton, so surely that can't happen unless Lee Grant signs a deal and he's literally on the coaching staff, like he's not actually, like he's a goalkeeping coach, he's not actually in the playing staff. And if that happens, then, you know, we all want to go mad and be sensationalists and say, what are we doing, giving money to this and that and that. But if you deep it, Romero's going to leave, you've got Joel Pereira's going to leave, and then we need a backup, we need a third choice goalkeeper, so Tom Heaton does make sense. And Lee Grant's coming to the end of his playing thing, which he already has. And if he comes back as a coach, then fine. If he comes back as another goalkeeper, then not fine. But anyway, the big story is the development with Raphael Varane. That's probably what I should have started with, really, innit? But anyway, we'll talk about that now. And the noises coming out of Madrid is that Madrid have allowed him to start negotiating with Man United. I saw David Ornstein at The Athletic saying that there's a good chance that this deal will happen. Look, I'm still nervous about it. I said yesterday I'm riding out for Varane as like my star signing of the transfer window. Obviously it's going to be Jadon Sancho with the star boy quality that he brings, and obviously the English stuff and how much he's going to cost. But for me, Varane is a more important deal, and I want to see us get it done. I want to see us get it done. And for me, £50 million has been set, 50 million euros has been set with him. Fabrizio saying as well, there's nothing advanced yet, is what he's saying. But there's interest in Manchester United like him, and he's a high priority for Man United. And this is what I was talking about yesterday. Like, the noises that are coming out are strong. And when there's strong noises, you have to say that, like he said, maybe it feels a bit different. But the latest on that is that they're saying to him, you know, he said, I don't want a new deal. And Real Madrid are reluctant to basically see what happened to Varane, happened to Ramos. You know, that's what happened. They didn't give him a new deal last year, or he didn't accept it for whatever reason, and he's now pretty much gone to PSG on a free, which is all but confirmed, and they really don't want that to happen. There were a few rumours that how much would Real Madrid want to deal with us? You know, you look at how when Ed pulled out the fax machine plug on De Gea to make him not go Real Madrid. There's been times where Ramos has flirted with us, and then we've maybe looked at him, then not, and then he's ended up signing a new deal. But then again, the relationship between the two clubs, you look at Van Nistelrooy went there, Beckham went there, and obviously the biggest one of the lot is Ronaldo. So really we kind of do have a good history with them, but the last bit of it hasn't been good in terms of David De Gea was probably hours away from joining Real Madrid, and we made it not happen. And then the Paul Pogba situation, we've not really allowed that to happen. Hope maybe we might be in the background, who knows? But there were a few, rumours that basically saying that would they do it, and it could be a ploy to keep Varane, even though they've offered him and he hasn't accepted. Another thing was as well is that obviously Carlo Ancelotti's now there. There's a new manager there. Would Ancelotti be able to convince Varane to stay? I've seen enough reports, right? I've seen enough reports to suggest that it's leaning more in the favour that he hasn't signed a deal. Like, he doesn't want to sign a deal. It's going to take, like Romano said, it's going to take something absolutely massive for him to change his mind at this point. And especially with the talks today saying that, or the reports today saying that, you know, Real Madrid are in full understanding that he's in negotiation with Man United, and have told their people, whatever, make sure we know what's going on, and then we'll assess the figures. But they know that he's negotiating with them. That's the biggest thing for me. Is it 100% true? Of course not. I don't know. I'm not saying it is. But what I am saying is a lot of big outlets are reporting that there's dialogue, and when there's dialogue, that means there's a willingness from both camps to at least try and make something happen. Whether they agree on it or not, I don't know, and that's what we've got to find out. I'm not going to pretend like I've got inside knowledge or in the know knowledge of saying this deal will be done, because the truth is we don't know. I'm just as nervous as much as you guys are, or as apprehensive as you guys are. But at times I'm looking at it in the full effect of it, and I'm like, well, hold on a minute. He would have signed a new deal already. Like I just said, Ramos left on a free last year, so why would they let it happen again this time? And if he's not going to sign, they're going to want to sell him ASAP, and that puts us in a very good position. The same way, like if people want to come in for Paul Pogba, it puts the buying club, if they've got money, in a good position, because we don't want to sell him for free. So if someone came in and offered 70 million for Paul Pogba, which is probably what he's worth, with 1 year left, we'll probably go, oh. If Paul Pogba says he ain't going to sign a new deal, then we'd have to take that. That's what it is. Obviously, we're not that far yet where we don't know if we've entered into negotiations with Paul Pogba and he said no. We don't know that. But if he does, as soon as he says, I don't want to sign, in my opinion, that's when you have to say, right, I know we could make you stay 1 more year and it'll be great because you'll be playing with Sancho and Bruno and Cavani and Rashford, whatever. But me personally, I'll just sell him because we need more. We need other players, and then we need to replace him as well. So back to the Varane situation. Real Madrid can't afford to lose him on a free next year if he's saying he's not going to play. And Perez has already said if the player wants to stay, he'll stay. If he doesn't want to stay, we'll move him on. So, and all the noises is that Varane doesn't want to be there anymore. I don't think that's in the question, unless they turn around and slap down some stupid amount, which what they didn't agree before, and he goes, oh, 500 grand a week, all right, I'll take that, which I can't see that's going to happen. So long as that doesn't happen, which I don't think it will, I don't think he wants to stay there. And it seems like I saw Chelsea sniffing around. Another thing at this, which is similar to the Jadon Sancho thing, is that it's a one-horse race, kind of. You know, PSG was sniffing around, but it looks like Ramos is going to go there. Can't see them getting Varane as well. He wants to come. All the reports are saying that he's currently talking to us. And there's nothing concrete from Chelsea. There's nothing concrete from anyone else. It's just us and them. So in reality, it's only us to mess it up, which could happen. But I don't know, the way we've got the Jadon Sancho deal done, quick, sharp, considering in terms of this transfer window, all the noises are that we've turned our attention to Varane straight away, and sorting out the housekeeping, which I'll get onto with Juan Mata signing a new deal. I'll let you know my thoughts on that. Getting Tom Heaton sorted. It's like they're just kind of just getting their house in order. Do you know what I mean? You know when you get your house in order because you wanna move on to other things, but you haven't done certain other things. That's what it seems like Man United are doing to me right now. So Varane, look, for me, I hope he comes. I keep saying it, but the latest development on that is that the two camps are in discussions. Real Madrid are aware of those discussions, and you know, we have to see what happens. The biggest thing about this as well for me is that it's getting Sancho and Varane like that. I think that's a big statement of intent. You know, we've always spoke about Oli not being backed. We've always spoke about, you know, why don't we just go and execute deals very quickly? Is there any correlation between Ed Woodward announcing that he's stepping down very soon? Like, it's supposed to be this summer, it might even be Christmas, I'm not sure, but he's going to be stepping down. Is there any correlation between that and then Darren Fletcher, Juan Mata, etc. stepping in? And now we seem to be getting, we can't class the Varane one yet, but the Jadon Sancho deal's been executed quite quick. The links and the movement on Varane seems quite quick. We've announced, even though you might not agree with the signings, Mata and Heaton, it's just kind of just quite ruthless with it. I'm seeing a decent tempo. That's what I'm noticing. I could be completely wrong. If we don't get Varane and we don't get a centre mid and we only end up with Jadon Sancho plus a couple of others here and there, then maybe we could say it's ended up being a disappointing summer. But to get Jadon Sancho done that quickly, and the noises around the movement of what's going on, it seems quite rapid. It seems like Man United mean business, but you can seem like meaning it and then you can act like meaning it. And I'm here for the action, so I'm not going to get carried away until we sign Varane. If we sign Varane, I won't get carried away unless that happens. But I am getting a little bit of a feeling that we're looking to move quite quickly on stuff, which is good. And like I say, I keep reverting back to it because I completely disagreed with it at the time. But in terms of that whole "it feels different" thing, what KG was saying at the time, and I was laughing, but actually I can see why some people do think that, but I just reserve judgment because I've seen how poor our transfer windows have been before. I'm not just going to let Jadon Sancho sign and then and then hear some rumours about other players and think, wow, we're going to get everyone. It's definitely different. It's only definitely different if we go and get these players. Do you know what I mean? And even that's only one transfer window. We have to see what this new structure does going forward in January and then next summer, etc., and year on year. Even if we have one good transfer window, it doesn't undo all of the shit that's happened before with the people who run the club and the people who do our deals. So in other news, Juan Mata gets a 1-year contract extension. Now, I suppose, look, there's two ways of looking at this. One is the first way, which is, what the hell are we doing? He's going to be on over 100 grand a week. He hardly kicked a ball last year. What did he have? I think 18 starts or something like that, or 18 appearances, should I say? Limited game time. Don't get me wrong, he had a lot of personal reasons going on as well, to be fair, with the passing of his mother. But in terms of him being used in the squad, he wasn't a pivotal member of that squad. Look, some people are going to argue that he should play more and he still can play with the better players. I do agree with that. If Matt has to start on the left or the right, well, not really the left, or in the number 10, if he has to play for a game or two here or there, I've got faith in that. In certain games, I do. But that's the first way of looking at it. The second way of looking at it is maybe one of more like, Solskjaer's going down the experience route, and that, like, well, we need players around the young players. We need experienced players around the young players. If you think of a workplace, you do need a mixture of experience, youth, and then somewhere in the middle, I suppose. We got Cavani, who's vastly experienced. David De Gea is vastly experienced. You add Juan Mata into that, who's vastly experienced. Who else? Does Harry Maguire come into that? Not really at this level, but he's still an experienced player, I suppose. Paul Pogba comes into that. And what, you'd probably say Bruno as well, just because, you know, he's almost like second captain sort of thing. But you do need those players to kind of nurture the young players, and it looks like that's what we're doing. Look, if he's signed for football reasons, when I read the brief, it was very much like, you know, one's fit and raring to go, looking forward to next season, the pre-season's around the corner, one's ready. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. If it's from footballing reasons, it doesn't make sense. And for me, I'm surprised, unless there's something more to it, which that's why I'm not going off, because I don't know the full picture. Maybe we will see him. Maybe he's staying to do his coaching badges. He's been a great servant to the club. He's a great guy, and he's going to stay to do, like, be a kind of player / coach. But that wasn't really what the briefing says. So for me, I'm a little bit more on the first side, which is, what are we doing? Because as much as we all love Mata and he's a great guy, he's going to be on over 120 grand a week, okay, which he deserves at the end of his career, but maybe not. We can't really afford to keep paying that, because we need to invest in other areas. I would have thought he would have wanted to play more at this stage of his career. What is he, 33 now, something like that? I'm surprised he didn't want to go and actually play for another team and get game time in the latter stage of his career. And then we could have got a small transfer fee for him, and then we clear up the wage bill. Same with like Phil Jones, players like that. We've got too much baggage. So in a time where I think we haven't got a lot to spend on players, and we need to be really picky and really particular and meticulous with what we're trying to do and how we're doing it and who with, that surprises me, you know. But I think the time will tell on that. But I can't. Matt's not going to play any more games than he did last year. So 18 appearances. Is he going to get much more than that this year with the acquisition of Jadon Sancho as well? And Matt plays on the right a lot. I can't see it happening. I really can't see it happening. So for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But from a workplace point of view, having him around the place, 100%. I won't lie about that. A quick one is that Ahmad as well, is potentially might go on loan as well. We'll have to look at that. The acquisition of Jadon Sancho, of course, there's not going to be a lot of space for him to play. What's going to happen to Daniel James? I don't think we can get rid of James and Ahmad. I think one of them has to stay, because, you know, injuries start kicking in, or fatigue or whatever. I'm going to be in a lot of games next year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Ahmad as well. So for me, a weird day. Tom Heaton announced, look, take that as you will, just as I'm running into a hell of a lot of traffic, which is great. Take that as you will with Tom Heaton. He's going to be the first choice keeper. Don't, you know, I see people on social media, why are we getting Tom Heaton into the disgrace? You know, and then we signed Sancho, then we're looking at Varane, and he's a third choice keeper, guys. Come on, stop being sensationalist. He's the role of a third choice keeper, no disrespect, and Tom Heaton will know this, just like Lee Grant knew it the year before, is to just keep the number 1 and 2s on their toes. You know, be a training partner, be ready if the unthinkable happens and both keepers do get injured and you get a run out. So you always need to be ready and professional. But that's the role of a third keeper, is just to be about the place, keep the other 2 keepers on their toes. and probably know you're never going to get a first team appearance unless something crazy happens, you know, or unless you get on the bench when the second keeper's the first choice in like the Carabao Cup or something like that. Then you might get an appearance. But anyway, so Tom Heaton signed. What I will go mad if we sign Lee Grant as well, and we sign him though, not saying that he's joined the coaching staff as a goalkeeping coach. That's different. If we sign him as a goalkeeping coach, fair play. Lee Grant might want to start going into being a goalkeeping coach. He's at United. He's obviously done well as a third choice keeper. He's been a good servant within that year or two, whatever he's been there. 2 years. Fine. That can happen, you know. I don't begrudge that happening as a coach and staff. That's fine. But if he's signing as an actual player, that's all I'll say on that. Even though I didn't say anything. So anyway, guys, that's the latest transfer news for today. Quick one. We're on the move. Hope you enjoyed it. A bit different, just being out and about. Do you know what I'm saying? Not everything is going to be just plain and simple. And as we're growing, you're going to see a lot of different kind of stuff. There's no rules. There's no rules and regulations. We just do what we feel like doing, and hope you guys enjoy it and just enjoy that kind of like just chilled, laid back vibe, innit? Like sometimes there ain't no transfer news. Like I said the other day, when we was talking about Shaw going in on Mourinho? There was no transfer news. And on days where there's no transfer news, guys, or it's a bit slow, I'll be coming on here and saying that to you. Yeah, no problem. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Smash a like on the video as well. We're at like 52 and a bit thousand as well. We only reached 50k the other day, which is crazy. So yeah, we'll see you back again with another video. Peace.